In the last video, we showed how we could build a dashboard and let a novice user come in here and simply type a Y or an N and get the answer they're looking for. You may have noticed, though, if they accidentally type yes instead of Y, they do not get the answer they expect. Yes, the way we've written it is different than Y. So how can we make that a little bit more foolproof? Let's talk about controls. To access controls, you need the Developer tab. And to get the Developer tab, you need to go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and make sure that the Developer tab is checked. When that is checked, you'll have access to this ribbon, which includes an item called Insert. And we will always insert form controls. We will never insert ActiveX controls. They require different code. I think the simplest form control to use is the checkbox. We'll click on the checkbox and draw a checkbox. We'll click inside of it to edit the text. Then when we right click on that checkbox control, we need to give it a cell link. I'm going to click on H3 and watch what happens now when we click on the control. It goes to H3 and tells it true or false depending on whether we have checked the box. True, false. Let's go back and incorporate this into our table. Let's go back and incorporate this into our dashboard. Let's draw a checkbox. Link it to a cell. Go ahead and make it 3D shaded. Now our model doesn't know what false means. Remember, on the if statement, we're doing a logical test looking for true or false. So we don't need to say if f8 equals y. We can just say if f8. We'll do the same thing to the other if statements. Because note that when f8 is true, then the if statement sees true in the first parameter. When f8 is false, the if statement sees false in the first parameter. And that's all it needs to know which of the following parameters to choose. And one more time. Now we don't need our user to see this question, we'll delete it. And we don't really need our users to see this cell, so let's move it out of the way. It's just a distraction. All that user needs to see is this question and the ability to check that box. What I think is also helpful is to format an area that we're actually going to call the dashboard. Let's fill it in with a background color. And I even like to give it a little 3D effect by coming into the borders. And if we put black borders on the top and left and white borders on the bottom and right, and it gives it a nice little 3D effect. You can give it a little bit more space by moving these down a row. And so now we've got the beginnings of a nice dashboard. The user can be extremely novice, doesn't need to know anything about Excel other than how to open the file and click a button.